Hey, Wambong World Entertainment, and we got a bit of news regarding the DCU in terms of updates of what's happening with Supergirl, possible plans for Lobo, and even more. Yes, even more. Now, this article kind of becomes a bit of a fluff piece, but it's still interesting, and one of the parts is just kind of like, okay, which we'll get to. But let's dive into this. So, it says the DCU hasn't taken shape as quickly as some fans would have liked, though 2023's Hollywood strikes did little to help with that. Superman, however, is in post-production, and Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, has just started shooting in the UK. Peacemaker Season 2 also hits Max later this year, and cameras are expected to roll on Lanterns any month now. So, there's lots to look forward to, and according to insider Daniel Richman, the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow script is so good that DC studio boss James Gunn is eager to get writer Anya, however the hell you pronounce her second name, involved in multiple DCU projects. Now, before I continue on, there's your first part of the fluff piece where they're like, oh, isn't everything so good to look forward to? And Rickman says the script is so good. Really? How does he know? Yes, he's one of these, I'll drop rumours here and there. He's never been someone that comes out and says he's seen scripts and stuff, so how does he know the script is so good? What did an insider tell him? It's so good. As we're supposed to believe that? That, like, they're saying James Gunn is so eager because it's so good to get her involved. This is the guy who said The Flash was the greatest superhero movie he's ever seen. So, never mind a grain of salt. Let's take 5 dump trucks of salt with that one. But it continues anyway, saying, as you may recall, she was attached to write the Supergirl movie meant to spin out of the events of The Flash, with Sasha Calais tapped to star. That project was scrapped, but she's clearly been impressing DC executives for a while now. How? That part makes no sense. She's been really impressing them for a while. How? She didn't write the script for a Supergirl movie that was going to star Sasha Calais. She was meant to write it. She didn't write it. So what exactly has she done that's impressing them? I don't know. So as for Jason Momoa's Lobo, while he's only expected to play a small role in Maiden of Might's movie, the door is said to be open to him getting his own DCU project somewhere down the line. Well, you don't say. They didn't hire Jason Momoa to be a cameo in a movie, and that's it, just one and done cameo of Lobo. Like, that part is stupid. So, other minor updates include the fact that both Max's Waller TV series, starring Viola Davis and Luca was something or another Giannano, and Daniel Craig's Sergeant Rock movie will both begin filming later this year. As expected, they're almost certainly going to be among DC Studios' 2026/2027 offerings alongside Clayface and the Batman 2. So, what we're hearing there is, for some reason they think the Waller TV series is going to film this year. We've had 0 updates on the Waller series since it was announced. Like, literally nothing. We've heard about all these other things happening. No movement has happened on Waller. So whether or not their script's ready for that or not, we don't know. I haven't even heard about writers being there for Waller. Then, of course, Sergeant Rock. Now, that's going to be a very interesting one. With Daniel Craig as Sergeant Rock. To start with, the guy does not do well with big franchises, which we saw clear as day when it came to James Bond. The dude was notorious for just ripping on it, basically. He didn't want anything to do with it. Even now, if you ask him for an autograph, he barely has no problem signing an autograph, but flat out then refuses to put 007 on it if you ask him to put 007. That he does not want to be tied down or even known as being James Bond. It's like, dude, you did movies for James Bond. Like, you should be appreciative that people accepted you as Bond and that they want you. Hey, can you sign this? And would you mind throwing 007 on it? The fact that he's like, oh no, I'm not throwing the 007 on there. It's like, get over it, dude. So, like, he's a good actor and stuff. Don't get me wrong, he's a good actor, but he doesn't seem to have the mentality for these big franchises. Now, if he's going into this thinking it's a one and done, like, oh, I'm going to do this Sergeant Rock movie and that'll be it. No, because you're guaranteed they are going to try and have him then show up in other things. The other interesting thing with Sergeant Rock is, do you remember who they originally wanted to play Sergeant Rock a few years ago? Do you remember? I'll give you a clue. His name is actually in the name of the property. That's right, The Rock. They wanted Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to originally play Sergeant Rock. And do you remember who they wanted to play Sergeant Rock even years before that was even a thing? No? I'll remind you, Arnold Schwarzenegger is someone they originally wanted to play Sergeant Rock. You see a bit of a theme here? Schwarzenegger, The Rock, to play Sergeant Rock. Big, well-built, strong dudes. Not Daniel Craig. Now, Sergeant Rock doesn't need to be big, muscular dude. But it's just interesting that was the direction they were going in. And they seem to have gone, no, let's go for Daniel Craig. I also don't understand why they would go with Craig for this movie, being the fact of his age. You would think they'd have gone a bit younger. Not like a hell of a lot younger, but they didn't, which is weird. Waller? Who wants Waller? Like, seriously, who has been asking for an Amanda Waller series? No one. And of course, this is the thing that just muddies the water even more. Along with Peacemaker and Suicide Squad and all this crap, is where it's like, oh, so this person who directly interacted with these other heroes that we saw in the previous versions of the DCEU, you're bringing across and you're going to tell us it's all new and all different. It makes no sense. It really doesn't make any sense. Supergirl is now filming, as we know. It probably won't take too long before behind the scenes set photos start leaking or something. But just the way it's worded in this, that, oh, he's only for Jason Momoa and Lobo's, oh, he's only expected to play a small role, but the door is said to be open for him to continue playing the... Of course the door is open for him. He hasn't just signed on to play it once in Supergirl. He's clearly going to be in multiple things. He's even talked about the fact that he feels that he will work best as a side character in different projects instead of his own standalone project. So yeah, Momoa as a cameo in Supergirl as Lobo isn't going to be a one and done. So I don't know where this is going. And then when it comes to this Supergirl script that's based off Tom King's comic book run, that Tom King has involvement with this story as well, that Daniel Richmond is out there trying to convince people that he's heard that it's so good that James Gunn is eager to have the writer Anna, whatever the hell her name is, do multiple DC projects. Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. But there is the news that's doing the rounds right now for all of this, that Supergirl is filming. Superman, of course, is in post-production. It'll be out in July. Lobo is not going to be a one and done. And Sergeant Rock and Waller are set to film this year. Again, like the Supergirl script being so good, I'll believe it when I see it. So, with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Let us know in the comments what you think about these projects that are coming. Do you have any interest in? Do you especially have any interest in Waller? Let us know. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.